welcome back to Lecture 2 of Unit 6 for English 2. We're going to resume where we left off on page 45 at the bottom. Start with our speaking activities. Okay. As it says here in number 1, it says ask and answer questions comparing James, Colin, Ray, Ellen, and Betsy. And we're going to compare these people. All right. Now the first one is done for you. You're going to be talking about two people here, James and Ray, and you're going to talk about the element of height. Okay, so how tall they are. So maybe James is tall, maybe Ray is tall, or maybe James is short and Ray is short. Okay, that doesn't matter. What we're trying to find out, who is taller? Okay, and that's the question here. Who is taller? Okay, maybe we know who the tallest is. I think that's Colin. Okay, but just comparing two people, who is taller? And that's what we're doing. We're comparing. You can see with that suffix. Okay, so who's taller, James or Ray? I don't know. They're pretty close. But I guess James is taller. Okay, so James is taller than Ray. Okay, so we use the word than, much the same as boda. Okay, and you can see that on your ebook as well. Okay, James ga d'accord. Okay, so that would be the difference between James and Ray. Good. All right, I'm just going to pause this. You can do the same. You're going to compare Ellen and James, Betsy and Colin, and Ray and Colin, okay, with these adjectives. Okay, see if you can adjust them and answer the questions. Okay, and I'll see you back here when you've finished your sentences. All right, let's check this out and see how we did. Right, so we did the first one. What about the second one? Who is faster? Who is faster? Ellen or James? So there's Ellen, there's James. Okay, I can't really tell, but I think Ellen, or maybe James, is faster. James seems to be ahead. So James is faster than Ellen. Okay. Who is older? Betsy or Colin? Now, Betsy has less gray in her beard, so I think Colin is older. His age is higher. Who is thinner? Okay, so we're looking at people here. Who is thinner? All right, so we have the adjective thin, and we're not going to say thinner, so we're just going to say thinner. Okay, so who is thinner? Ray or Colin? I think the answer is Ray. Ray is thinner. Ray is thinner than Colin. Okay. And you can do the same with these verbs down here. You're comparing two people. We're going to use the opposite words. So instead of tall, we're using short. Who is shorter, James or Ray? Okay. Ray is shorter. So he has less height than James. Who is slower, Ellen or James? Okay. Ellen is slower than James, okay, assuming they started at the same time. Okay, what about Betsy and Colin? Who is younger, Betsy or Colin? I think Betsy is younger than Colin. Okay, and instead of thin, we're looking at heavy. Who is heavier, Ray or Colin? Okay. I think Colin is heavier than Ray. So Colin is heavier. Okay, so those should be your answers there. All right, we're going to go to the next page and do the activity there. On page 45, we looked at comparatives. We kept comparing two people. Even though there's 5 people in the picture, and maybe Colin is the oldest or James is the fastest, we just compared two people. So Colin is older and James is faster. Okay, We're just comparing two people. So the next page, we're going to go and do some superlatives. Okay, and what better place to look at superlatives than the world? Okay, so you're going to be looking at, of all the elements in the world, which one has the highest level of an adjective. Okay, so the first one is done for you. The person asks, what's the tallest pyramid in the world? Okay, that must be student A asking this question here. We have a picture of a pyramid, and we're not just talking about pyramids, we're talking about tall pyramids. So there are many tall pyramids in the world, but which one is the tallest? What's the tallest pyramid in the world? Okay, anywhere in the world? The answer? It's the Pyramid of Khufu. Okay, that's just outside of Cairo in Egypt. Okay, good. What's the tallest pyramid in the world? Okay, you're going to find that out here. You're also going to find out about the biggest ocean and the highest mountain, okay, as well as other physically geographic elements. Okay, and that's given at the top, and the answers are given in pink. So you and your partner can take turns asking and answering. Okay, one person asks, and the other person answers. If you're doing this alone, you'll have to do both of these by yourself. Okay, so asking about places on Earth. All right, I'll let you do that by yourself, and then I'll come back here, and when you are finished, you can press play, and we'll go over the answers. Okay, let's look at the answers here. So we're talking about oceans, not just oceans, but big oceans. So what's the biggest ocean in the world? It's the Pacific, or the Pacific Ocean. Good. Next one. What's the highest mountain in the world? It's Mount Everest. All right, the next one. What's the deepest lake in the world? It's Lake Baikal. Lake Baikal is the deepest lake in the world. Okay, the next one. What's the longest river in the world? It's the Nile. What's the largest country in the world? It's Russia. What's the smallest country in the world? It's the Vatican. Vatican City is the smallest country in the world. You can see most of it in this picture. Okay, next we're going to look at continents. Okay, so I think you know the continents, 7 of them. There's Africa, North and South America, Asia, Europe, and 2 others, one of which is the coldest continent. What is the coldest continent in the world? It's Antarctica. Okay, colder than Australia. And finally, what's the driest desert in the world? It's the Atacama Desert. It's drier than the Sahara. It's drier than the Gobi. It's drier than the Mojave. Okay, so many dry deserts in the world, but the driest, the Atacama in Chile. Okay, good. So you can construct a lot of those, and they're all using the same form, you'll notice. They all use the EST form, because they're all 1 or 2 syllables. And if they are 2 syllables, they're simply using the, because they are 1 syllable long. So small, cold, long, deep, large, dry. These are all one-syllable adjectives. So you simply add the est ending to make them into superlatives. Okay. All right, let's move on to page 47, and we can look at the activity there. Okay. In fact, we're going to do two activities on page 47. The first one is basically a fill-in-the-blank exercise. Okay. So you're given two sentences. Okay. You're going to be introduced to one thing, and you're going to compare it to something else. It seems to be the same structure for each sentence. Okay. When you complete the sentences, when you fill in the blanks, you're going to have to match the appropriate adjective with the sentence, and then you're going to have to use the comparative form. Okay. Now you have 8 words, and apparently there are 8 sentences, including this first one that's used here. Okay. So it is blank to have fun than to win. Okay. So it's, I think they're talking about competitions or sports. Okay. So it is important to have fun, and it is important to win. Okay. But of the two, it's more important to have fun. Okay. Now, the answer is more important, not importanter. Okay. So we know that important has 3 syllables. Okay. You can see that here. And important, and with 3 syllables means when you're using the comparative form, you don't use er, use the more. You precede it with more. You put more before the adjective. Okay. Good. So read through the sentences. Match the words here in the box with the sentences that they need to go in, and make sure these adjectives are in the correct form, the comparative form. Okay. And you can pause that and do the activity, and then we will resume and we'll go over the answers when you are finished. All right, so for self-practice 1, we can see the answers written here, most of them. So I've taken these words in the box and I've matched them with the sentences. Okay, so in number 1, we're looking at 2 cars are being compared: Johnny's car and Elliot's car. Okay, one's a sports car and one's a sedan. Okay, so I guess a basic car. So a sports car is fast than Elliot's sedan, because you're comparing the 2 cars. Is it more fast, okay, like here, or is it faster? Okay, so fast has 1 syllable, so we're just going to write faster. So Johnny has a sports car. The sports car, is faster than Elliot's sedan. So Elliot's sedan is slower than Johnny's sports car. 2, I don't like watching dramas. I'm interested in documentaries. Okay? Or at least, I'm more interested. Okay, so interested has 3 syllables. Not 1, not 2, maybe not 3. Maybe it has 4 syllables, but I pronounce it like it has 3. Okay? Either way, more interested. I'm more interested in documentaries. Okay? All right. So if you don't like dramas, then you're probably more interested in many other things. Okay? So more interested. Interested, 3 syllables, more. 3, Shelley lost a lot of weight. She is thin now than she was last year. Okay? So you're comparing the same person, but you're comparing the same person at 2 different times. Okay? So you're comparing Shelley now to Shelley 1 year ago. Okay? So the adjective is thin, 1 syllable, Okay, so you add an ER. Thiner? She is thiner now? No, so we need an extra letter to keep the pronunciation the same. So not just an ER. If it's going to change the original vowel sound, you need to add an extra letter, so thinner. Okay, you don't need an extra T here for faster, because the structure does not change the pronunciation of the first vowel. Is that right? Correct. Number 4, I didn't make any mistakes on the first quiz. Perfect score. Okay, it was easy than the second quiz. Okay, right. So again, easy is 2 syllables. Is it more easy? Okay, you might hear some native speakers say more easy, but we would say easier. Okay, and that looks funny. It looks like it says easier, which isn't quite the same. So we're going to take that Y and change it to an I. So 2 syllables ends in a Y. So the rule, if you have a 2-syllable adjective ends in Y, change it to an I, add an ER. Correct. 5, the red dress looks amazing. So amazing is a very positive word. Okay, you look amazing. Okay, that movie was amazing. Very positive descriptions. I really liked it. Okay, so I like your red dress. The red dress looks amazing. It is. Okay, the only word I didn't choose was beautiful. Beautiful. So that's 4 syllables. And of course, 4 syllables, okay, if important. 3 syllables is preceded by more. And it's more beautiful. Beautifuler? Okay, I know what you mean, but that would be incorrect. More beautiful. 6, let's go on a weekday when the lines are shorter. Huh? I don't understand. Weekday? It's Monday to Friday? Lines? Okay, I mean lines or lineups. Okay, people are in a line to go inside somewhere. Okay. Here we go. The amusement park. Okay, so they're at an amusement park, maybe like maybe a water park, or maybe Everland up in Yongin. So that's where they are. They're thinking of going to an amusement park on a weekday, Monday to Friday, because on Saturday and Sunday, there'll be many crowds. Okay? Saturday and Sunday, it will be crowded. Right? There'll be many people close together. Okay? Now, maybe on a weekday, it'll also be crowded, but maybe on a weekday, it will be less crowded. Okay? So crowded, 2 syllables. Okay. In this case, we'd say more. Okay. Again, crowded does not end with a vowel sound, so we just put more at the beginning. More crowded. Okay, and that leaves cheap. I bought the older model computer. It was cheaper than the new one. Right, so cheap has 1 syllable. Cheaper. Good. All right. Let's continue down to self-practice 2. All right, practice 2, as it says here, write answers to the questions. Okay, the questions are written here, numbers 1 through 7. And you're going to find out the answers here. So number 1 is done for you. So what is the slowest animal? So we're looking at 8 different animals. Okay, and you're looking at the slowest animal in the world, I guess. Okay. So when you think of slowest animals, you can find the adjective form. So slowest from the superlative, slow and slow. And there's the answer, snail. So the snail is the slowest animal. The snail? Which snail? Okay. So we're just talking about the name of the animal in this case. Okay, so there's some unusual rules to using the word the And this is one of them. Okay? So a more common way to say it would be snails are the slowest animals. Okay, but you might hear this form in biology class or on a TV show. All right, and you can finish the rest of them. So all of the superlatives are listed in the questions. Tallest, most endangered, biggest, deadliest, fastest, longest, most colorful. You can figure out what the adjective is, find it here, find the animal, and then write the sentences. Okay? And we'll do a quick review when you are finished. So press pause and we'll review when you are done. Okay, we'll go through these quickly. I think you can figure out the answers. I'll just read out the answers as we go through it. Number one, what is the tallest animal? Okay, so what's the tallest animal? The giraffe is the tallest animal. Number two, what is the most endangered animal? The most endangered animal is the South China tiger, or the South China tiger is the most endangered animal. Okay. So there's two ways to write it. Number three, what is the biggest land animal? The elephant is the biggest land animal. Okay. Number four, what is the deadliest animal? The deadliest animal, check that, the mosquito is the deadliest animal. Five, what is the fastest animal? The peregrine falcon is the fastest animal. 6, what is the longest land animal? The python is the longest land animal. And number 7, what is the most colorful animal? The parrot is the most colorful animal. Or the most colorful animal is the parrot. Okay. So in these sentences, you're using the animal as the subject. Okay. And the object is the category or is the superlative you're looking for with the verb in the middle. So you have a subject, verb, object. You can switch these around. The snail is the slowest animal. The slowest animal is the snail. We're talking about the animal named the snail. Okay. So sometimes I mix those around. They're both quite common. Okay. Or more common again, snails are the slowest animals. Parrots are the most colorful animals. Okay. All right, we're almost finished. Let's continue on to the next page, page 48. Okay, this last activity was a popular activity in your classroom classes. You can try this with a group of people. Don't sit too close together. Okay? And or you can use if you're at home alone trying this activity. What you can do is think of 6 people that you know. Okay? I'm sitting at home alone, so I'm going to use this activity. I'm going to think of 6 of my friends. Okay. You could also use family members. You could use maybe the first 6 people that you see on the camera roll on your phone. Okay. You just write their names down, and then you're going to talk about them. Okay. So take a moment, choose 6 names. Okay, if you're not in a group, and if you are in a group, you can just write each other's names down. But I'll give you a minute to prepare that activity. 6 names. Okay, so what you're going to do now, as it says here, you're going to ask and answer questions and compare your group members. Okay. Now all of these we're looking at superlatives. So tallest, shortest, biggest, smallest, most colorful, plainest. Okay, so we know what the word colorful is. Plain would be the opposite of colorful. Okay? Longest, shortest, oldest, youngest, best, worst, most, and most. Yeah, most tired and most alert. Okay? Cleanest, dirtiest. Okay? Now, with this one, most tired and most alert. I think this guy is the most tired. Okay? And alert would be the opposite. Okay? He's wide awake. Okay? So you're comparing these people. So in your group, or again, if you're by yourself, you can compare the 6 names that you've written. I've written down 6 names of 6 friends. Okay? I've written Gary, Keisha, Bunny, Ed, Insu, and of course, Dave. All right. Now, you can go through and talk about your group and compare them. Compare them to each other, and we'll review this when you are finished. Okay, I won't review all of these with you. It has pretty much the same structure. Okay. It has pretty much the same structure as the writing exercise that we did on page 47. Okay. So what is the fastest land mammal? The peregrine falcon is the fastest animal. Okay. So we're going to use the same structure here. So who is the tallest? So Gary is the tallest. Who is the shortest? Keisha is the shortest. Who has the biggest hands? Bunny has the biggest hands. Who has the smallest hands? Ed has the smallest hands. Who has the most colorful shirt? Insu has the most colorful shirt. Who has the plainest shirt? Dave has the plainest shirt. Okay. So all of these questions, sometimes you're looking for, you're using the be verb, or you have a possessive verb. Okay. So who has the hands? You have a noun here, and the adjective is right here, okay, beforehand. But you're comparing it, so you're comparing it again with everyone. So the biggest, notice the extra G. Okay. And same thing here. So who has a shirt? Everybody has a shirt. Who has the most colorful shirt? Okay. Insu has the most colorful shirt. Okay. But Dave has the plainest shirt. Okay. All right, that should be good. And that concludes the online classes, okay, for Unit 2. Next week, you'll be back in the classroom with your professor, and he or she can help you with Unit 7 and then through to Unit 12. Okay. Thank you very much, and good luck.